Most people try to fix their looks, their energy, and their discipline separately. They train harder, change their diets, and look for motivation. But all three things are controlled by one upstream process, and that process is sleep. And the reason sleep is so important is because it restores and replenishes a lot of the things that your body is not able to do during your awake time. Sleep is often described as rest, but that is very misleading, because when your body falls asleep, it does not shut down. It switches modes. Sleep is a time where your body is able to run processes that are too expensive to run during your awake time and too risky. And this is through biology. And two major things happen during sleep. First of all, your hormonal system is regulated, and second of all, your brain and control system is restored. If sleep is short, inconsistent, or poor quality, your body suffers. Your body is not able to replenish these important things in your body. Hormones don't respond to effort. They respond to timing of sleep and depth of sleep. Because during sleep, especially in the first half of the night, your brain signals the release of testosterone and growth-related hormones such as HGH and IGF-1. And this only happens when the brain detects stability and safety. Consistent sleep is what provides the signal of safety, and it's okay to replenish those hormones. Because when sleep is cut short or irregular, deep sleep is reduced and hormone release is blunted. And at the same time, sleep activates your stress response, and your brain interprets poor sleep as a threat, which raises cortisol. High cortisol encourages fat storage. It increases inflammation in your body, and it interferes with recovery. So poor sleep creates an environment that works against strength, leanness, and drive. Not because you're lazy, but because the system is misaligned. Your face is one of the most sensitive indicators to sleep quality. And here is why. Because when you sleep, skin cells regenerate, inflammation is reduced, blood flow to the skin improves, and fluid balance is regulated. When sleep is poor, inflammation stays elevated and fluid accumulates under the skin. And that leads to puffiness, dark circles and eye bags, and dull or uneven skin tone. And this isn't cosmetic, it's physiological, because over weeks of consistent, sufficient sleep, inflammation drops and repair resumes. The face naturally looks leaner, cleaner, and healthier. And this is why no skincare routine can fully compensate for bad sleep quality. Discipline feels like a mental trait, but it's actually a part of your brain function. The part of your brain that is responsible for self-control is the prefrontal cortex. It allows you to resist impulses, stay focused, and make long-term decisions over instant gratification. And sleep deprivation reduces the activity in this area of your brain. And at the same time, lack of sleep increases activity in the reward center of your brain that seeks dopamine. So what you basically end up with is less self-control and stronger cravings for instant gratification. And this explains very well why sleep-deprived people crave more food, scroll more on TikTok and Instagram, and they skip training and correct diets. Because they didn't lose character, their brain just lost regulation. And this is why discipline becomes a lot easier when your sleep quality and sleep duration improves. And that is not because you are trying harder or because you want it more, but it's because your brain is functioning properly again. And this is exactly why sleep sits at the top of self-improvement, because it regulates your hormones, it improves and shapes your face, and it determines how disciplined you are able to be. And if you want to improve your sleep quality and sleep duration, you need to master a few basic skills. Number one is to aim for enough sleep. And most people have heard that 7 to 8 hours of sleep is enough. But that is not true, especially if your sleep quality is not on point. Because if you need to wake up to an alarm clock, are you really fully rested? Of course not. And so especially if you're young, you need to aim for at least 9 hours of sleep. Okay? So that means over 9 hours inside the bed. The second tip I have is to wake up and go to bed at the same time every single day, even on the weekends. Because this is something that I'll talk about in the next video, but it's the circadian rhythm, or your body's internal clock. Because when you wake up at the same time and go to bed at the same time, your body basically schedules in sleep and it improves your sleep quality. And this is extremely important, because even 15 minutes of a change in your sleep time can reduce your sleep quality. And one last final thing is that consistency matters more than anything, because you can sleep for 9 hours one day, but then another day you sleep for 7 hours. But if you start by just sleeping at the same time every day, waking up at the same time, and then just focusing on that consistency, your sleep will improve a lot. And so in the next video, I will be explaining why waking up at the same time and going to bed at the same time matters more than your bedtime, and how your circadian rhythm actually works. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the circadian rhythm explanation video.